Hi friends, and welcome back to another Ship With Me video. This one is going to be a lot of fun because we are going to do the Ship With Me where I pop on here every single time throughout the week that I do my shipping. So that might be packing up one thing, that might be packing up 10 things. You never know what you're going to get. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Maria and I'm a part-time reseller on eBay and Poshmark, making it work, making things fit into my life and the pockets of time I have throughout the day. So usually that means I'm coming in here really late at night, grabbing the few things that I have sold. And every time I do that this week, I am going to turn on the camera. So that means sometimes you get me like right off of work, looking all cute. Sometimes you might get me after a shower or I have no makeup. I don't know. You're going to get Hot Mess Maria. Welcome to my life. So today is Sunday and I do have 7 sales already. It is about 7 o'clock. Kids are getting ready for bed with dad and then I will pop off. We take turns doing, if I do Skylar, he does Jackson, and then we swap on and off every other day. But I decided to jump in here and at least start this video with you guys. I do have 7 sales from today, which is Sunday. And I have some good sales in here. I'm happy to report that the Thriftsmas in July stuff has definitely started selling. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's at Life with Maria Nicole. And I am popping up on my stories when things sell so that you can kind of see those as like immediate feedback from Thriftsmas about maybe some good things that I did end up picking up. So let's real quick dive into these sales as I do my shipping. I'm also normally film with my phone, but I'm filming with my actual cool camera that I should probably use more often than I do. So hopefully the audio and everything is coming out, fingers crossed. Okay, the first thing I have is just like a Taylor Swift graphic tee. I grabbed this at that local swap meet that I go to where everything is absolutely free to me. And I was like, somebody's gonna want this. There's so many Swifties in the world. So I grabbed it, I listed it. It's not in the best condition. It's definitely got some like crackling right here, as you can see, but I photographed it. I described that in the listing and it sold today on Poshmark for $21. These mailers got like flipped around somehow, and I like when things are the same way every time because it saves you time in your processes if you're doing the same movements over and over and over and over again. So I like to grab them so that I can put it right here and put my label on. Although this one's really skinny and flat. So we're gonna put this in first and then stick our label on top of that. So this sold for $21. I do send 30% off offers to likers on Sundays just to kind of jumpstart the week of sales. And somebody scooped that up today for $21. $0 into it. It was listed for 77 days and I made $14.48. So 15 bucks for a little graphic tee that was so easy to photograph, list, and store. I will take it all day long. Okay, I have one shoe sale. We'll come back to that one and do that at the end. The next are these really nice Goldie jeans. I was very excited to find these. I don't find a Goldie very often. I mean, who really does find a Goldie all that often? This was part of Thriftsmas in July, if you saw that video. They were a good size. And they sold today also with 30% off deal. So somebody got a really good deal. They scooped this up. It had been getting a lot of attention. And they ended up purchasing it for $66. So I got this at my Goodwill retail. My average cost of goods was $7.90. I technically probably paid the like $6.99 jeans price. So right about there with my average cost of goods. These were only listed for 8 days and I made $42.50. So really great sale. You will also notice that everything I have sold, all 7 items so far today, are Poshmark. So I need eBay to wake up a bit. Not sure what's going on over there. So eBay, if you're listening, wake up. I know it's still summer, but I'm seeing jeans sell. And I'm also seeing shorts still sell. So we're getting into that time of year where people are still going to the beach, people are still taking summer vacations, but people are starting to shop for back to school. People are starting to think about fall. People are starting to think about fall, like weekend trips. So I'm selling a little bit of everything right now. Okay, the next was also a Thriftsmas denim sale. These were the Levi's wedgie jeans. They are the premium, the Big E. They're a modern Big E. If you find the vintage Big E, you've got some money there. But these also sold on Poshmark today with the 30% off deal. So they sold for $31. My average cost of goods at Goodwill that day was $6.69. These were only listed for 21 days and I made $15.79. These were also a size 31, which I think did help sell them more quickly. When I can find the larger sizes, they are less saturated, so they tend to sell. I don't list them for more typically, but they will just sell faster. Okay, the next one I'm really happy to see sell, and I'm really happy to sell this fast because this is one of those times where, because I had a really low cost of goods, I was just kind of grabbing stuff and maybe not sourcing as wisely as I always should. And so this is one of the items that when I got home, I was like, did I really need to grab this? But then it sold. So this is a J. Crew like cotton midi skirt, knee length skirt, something like that, depending on your height. And yeah, it was an older tag J. Crew. I picked it up because it was 50 cents and I do like selling J. Crew. So I was like, I mean, what do I really have to lose here? And it sold on Poshmark today for $22. That was actually a 10% off offer. Somebody liked it, and then my Poshmark VA sent 10% off to them. So $22, 50 cents into it, and it was only listed for 58 days, and I ended up making $14.78. So I cannot complain for a $15 sale from just a little J. Crew skirt. Skirts are historically more difficult to sell. Not a ton of people wear them. Or if they do, they don't have as many of them. Like if you count the pants and shorts you have in your closet right now, you probably have more of both of those than you do of skirts. We just don't buy them as often. Okay, next, I'm also happy to see move along because it's just a little Lucky brand, like boho t-shirt. It's almost like a tank. I do grab these when I can get them for a low cost of goods if they are a size large and up, and this was a size large. So this sold on Poshmark today, also with the 30% off offer for $17. I got it at the bins for $1.94. It was listed for 202 days though, and I made $9.34. This one also I kind of got lucky because in my spreadsheet where I keep all of my items that are currently in my inventory, the very first column is the bin that I keep them in downstairs in my basement. I do have some videos showing my inventory. I know I have a lot of new viewers, so if I need to do like a how I store my inventory kind of tour or explanation video, let me know if that'd be helpful to you. I can kind of redo one. That box was blank and I was like, oh no, I don't want to have to go searching for it. I have never, in my 3+ years of reselling, I have never lost an item. So I'm very happy about that. And thankfully I did find this. I looked at the other items that I knew I listed from that same haul around that same time, narrowed it down to 2 bins, and it was in one of those 2 bins. So I was very grateful to have found this. Okay, next is another really good sale, also sold today with my 30% off. It's really funny because there's some Sundays that I run that offer and I'll have no sales from it, or I'll have like 1 sale from it. And then there's other days like this where it seems like everybody's buying and I'm like, okay, yay. So I don't know. But these are the Lululemon, like the City Sleek 5-pocket pants or something. I'm sure I'm popping the picture up on the screen for you. So a very good, like substantial piece of Lululemon, you know, something different than just like the leggings tights. And it sold for $45 today. I got this at 2nd Avenue, which are big chains near me. My average cost of goods was $6.81. They also usually, when they see Lululemon, they really price it up. And I think they had missed these because I think these were their normal like $9 or $10. And they were listed for 111 days and I made $26.87. Okay, so the last thing for at least right now, I don't know if I'm going to be back on later tonight or if you won't see me until hopefully tomorrow, assuming I don't have a no sales day. I found these during Thriftmas. It's the same day I found those really amazing Veronica Beard clogs. I was actually like talking to camera about the Veronica Beards, and then I like saw these out of the corner of my eye because I saw this little logo right there. These are OOFOS. These are actually my first time ever finding OOFOS, or at least at a price that I was willing to pay to resell them. They are in really great condition. They are a men's 6 or a women's 8. So I sold them as a women's 8 because I thought that size would sell better than a men's 6. I got them at Goodwill. Obviously, they sold on Poshmark today for $38, also 30% off sale. My average cost that day was $7.15, and I ended up making $20.93 on these. So that's pretty good. So as I get packed up, yeah, hopefully you'll be seeing me every single day this week. I very, very, very rarely have a no sales day. Like, I had one last week, and it was the first time in months. Like, I could not even remember when my last no sales day had been, which in itself I feel really blessed by, because there was absolutely a time, a long time in my reselling career, that no sales days were common for me. And it's tough because you're like, oh, I'm listing all these things, I'm doing all the right things. I put a little bit of paper when I'm shipping shoes like this because I don't want them to get smushed. Especially if I'm not shipping them in a box. But this is Poshmark, so I'll ship them in a box. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to use this box, though. I think I'm going to use the True Shoe box so they don't get more smushed. But I got to find one. Hold on. I think I have some down here. I do. Under the bed. Okay. But yeah, they still happen. And I feel like I've been having really good sales. You guys have been so encouraging to me in my videos where I'm doing what sold or thrift with me's, or ship with me's, I mean. So thank you for all of the kind comments, but I'm still human and I'm not perfect. And we can't control everything about the algorithm. We can definitely do our part, because what we do and what we list and how often we list, all of those things affect the algorithm. But there's just some things that are out of our control. And I had a no sales day, and that was tough, but I kept going. I did all my things, and here we are just a few days later, and I think I had over $150 in profit thus far today, not counting if anything else sells. Okay, let me get these packed up. Okay, that makes 2. Put my thank you sticker on. When I'm doing shoes and wrapping them individually, sometimes I put 1 thank you sticker and sometimes I put 2. And there is absolutely no rhyme or reason to it. So I'm going to put these in this. You can use these on Poshmark sales. They are priority mail. They are the shoebox. If you're ordering them on USPS website, just going to add a little void fill to the top. Get her sealed up. And we will get our sticker on. But okay, I will see you guys soon. Oh, these are going to Columbus, Ohio, where I was born and raised. Go Buckeyes. All right, so it is now Monday, the next day at 7:16, and I thus far today have 7 sales to pack up. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I have 5 on Poshmark and 2 on eBay. I also have 1 item that sold last night, late before I went to bed, which means I ended up with 8 sales yesterday. So I love starting out with good sales days. That makes me pretty happy. So the first thing that we'll do is the item that sold last night. This is a vintage little Purdue Boilermakers tie. Nothing super exciting or special. I am a big Ohio State fan. Purdue is in the Big Ten, which is their conference. And I just like picking up Big Ten stuff. So I like to rescue it. This is Poshmark. I think I'm just going to wrap it and put it in a bag. I'm just going to use half of one. But yeah, so I knew this wasn't going to sell for much. It's more just trying to rescue things. And I was happy to accept a $13 offer yesterday on Posh. So I got this. The other reason why I was willing to pick it up was I got this at a grab bag sale at the local thrift store that does dollar days. Oops. And so it basically took up no room in that bag. The entire overflowing IKEA bag was $15. This was literally just shoved in the side. But for my cost of goods, since it was one of the items I worked into my cost of goods was 30 cents. I know, big spender. And it was listed for 160 days and I made $9.75. I am starting to see football stuff start moving again. So that is coming up, football season, and people might also be getting ready to go to their respective colleges. If you have college students that are heading onto campus, we might see more and more college stuff start selling. So just a little package there. Okay, this one I'm really excited about. If you recognize this print, really pretty. This is an IB Cool sleeveless athleisure dress. I have been hearing Frizzy over in Frizzy's Finds. If you don't watch them, give them a follow. They're a great reselling couple, and I learn a lot of new brands from Frizzy. She's very knowledgeable. This was one of those that I hear her talk about a lot that she loves to sell because it sells fast, but I've never found it. So I found it on my vacation thrift. If you haven't watched that video, it was a lot of fun. We go to 4 different thrift stores. Spoiler alert, I didn't find very much, but I found a few things and this was one of them. I listed this last night and it sold today while I was at work on Poshmark. I had it listed for $50 and it sold with my 10% off offer for $45 with discounted shipping. So I was thrilled from that. At the thrift store, my average cost of goods was $4.42. So I made $29.26 in less than a day on this. And when I got out to my phone, I don't have my phone with me during the day while I'm at work. So I'm always nervous things are going to sell on both platforms, especially since this was so new. And it did get a couple of watches on eBay. So I delisted it immediately on eBay, like through my phone, and then used this perfectly when I got home. But yeah, I'm glad it didn't end up selling on both. So BOLO, keep an eye out for IB Cool for sure. Okay, I'm going to come back to the ones we have to wrap up a bit more. This is a good riddance situation. Oh dear, I dropped all my labels. The next one we have is Kimchi Blue, which is an Urban Outfitters brand. I would not recommend picking it up. Like if I found this today for free, I would probably even still leave it behind. This is just a little like scallop trim skirt. And I don't know why I picked it up at some point, but I did. I grabbed it at the bins and it sold today on eBay for $15.99. I did relist it recently and then I think I dropped the price down. And so with my 10% off offer, plus I think I sent 10% on top of that, it ended up selling for $15.99. Got it at the bins. My average cost of goods was $1.63, but it was listed for 536 days and I ended up making $11.26. So hopefully it doesn't come back to me for any reason. I would really love to just see this gone and out of my life. Hopefully somebody loves it and enjoys it. Okay, next is a pair of jeans. I have been selling a lot of jeans recently. I think I said that. I'm seeing short sell and I'm seeing jeans sell. These are Judy Blue, which always sells really fast for me. I'm happy to report these ones did also. These are a relaxed fit and were a size 30. I actually picked up these almost exact same pair of jeans, but in a size 28 and Thriftsmiths. Actually, when I saw these had sold, I thought they were the Thriftsmiths pair, but they actually weren't. These were listed a little bit longer. And they sold today on Poshmark for $31. I had them listed for $35. They sold with my 10% off offer with discount ship for $31. I actually got these at the swap meet for $0. And they were only listed for 41 days and I made $22.48. I did take a look. I have 3 other pairs of Judy Blue that are still listed. I've sold quite a few recently. The 3 that are still listed are the other pair of relaxed fit and then 2 skinny fit pairs. I do always expect skinnies to take a little bit longer to sell, but they do usually sell for me, especially in the fall when people are wearing them like tucked into boots. It's still definitely a thing. I mean, I still wear them that way, even if I'm told it's not technically in trend. Okay, this one I think I'm going to take out and wrap because it's not looking very nice in the bag anymore. So I'll just show this to you. This is Aster, the label. If you have been following the channel, I have basically stopped picking this up unless it's like completely free to me. This is just a little nautical strapless dress. Super cute, super basic though. And I paid like full Goodwill price for this. I am so happy to see this go. I got a $10 off offer on eBay. And when you see my cost of goods, I was like, oh, I really want to move this on, but I can't accept that one. I do think it's worth more than $10. I probably just had it priced up too much to begin with. And I ended up countering to $19.99. I was like, maybe I can get them to like 15 or 12. Like maybe I can eke a couple more dollars. And then they accepted my $19.99 offer. So I was thrilled by that. I didn't make very much money, but at least I'm making my money back. I got these at Goodwill for an average cost of goods at $8.40, which was about what I would have paid for this dress. It was listed for 646 days though, and I made $6.55. So again, hoping this doesn't come back to me. I'm also happy to report that this clears the haul for me, which means of the haul that I did that shopping day, specifically at Goodwill, this is the last thing to sell. So I'm always excited when I clear a haul out of my inventory. Everything that I bought that day has sold. I mentioned this dress recently in a different Ship With Me, I think, because I sold something that there was only one dress left and it was this. So maybe I manifested it and at least it sold. So $6.55 after, what did I say? Almost 2 years. Learned from my mistake. I am not, oh, I didn't get a thank you sticker yet. I am not picking this brand up at Goodwill retail prices. It was on my like bad brands not to pick up list that I did recently. I will maybe grab it if it's at the bins or free to me if it's a cute style. But I gotta be very careful with it. I did sell that like sleeveless blouse recently, but I think I sold that for like $15. So yeah, moving on from that brand. Okay, next is super cute. If you watched my theater sale when they were liquidating stuff, this is a chocolate brown Free People little like military jacket. It's super cute. It's got like a ruffled bottom. It's in great condition. So I grabbed this for $5 at that sale. I wasn't sure what they were going to charge me because I didn't know if it was going to be a jacket, but they charged me the $5 that I paid for everything else. So I was very happy with that. This I had listed, I think for $45, and I got a $35 offer today, which I was happy to take because it's bigger, it's bulky, and I want to get it moved out of my life. $5 at that theater sale. It was listed for 91 days, but it was also listed in summer, and this is a very fall type item. And I ended up making $23. I've had really good luck from the things I picked up from the sale. I like to call it luck, but maybe I should give myself a bit more credit. Maybe I'm finally starting to source better items, especially when I'm paying up more. I know I'm much more lenient at the bins or when I'm getting things free at the swap meet. But yeah, maybe I'm finally starting to reap the rewards of all my effort and energy, or at least I like to, these are like stuck together. At least I like to tell myself that you got to give yourself those wins, give yourself, I always say give yourself grace, but in this instance, give yourself appreciation for all your hard work, for all the research that I do, which is basically watching other people's videos. That counts as research. Okay, next we have a really pretty bra pickup. This was from my most recent bins haul. This was like my favorite one. I thought this one would sell the fastest, and it did. So I think I'm going to put, it's Victoria's Secret Dream Angels line. I'm going to put this, I think. I have these little, oh my gosh, I have these little mini boxes that I think would be really good for this. I don't want to squish the cups too much. This is a box number 4. You can order online from USPS. I don't keep this box, honestly, as part of my like stock that I always have around. There's this one post office near me, but that I don't go to all that often. But they'll randomly just have like little packages of like the packs of 10 when they come in like the plastic wrap. They will often just have some random ones sitting there, and I'll grab different sizes instead of ordering them specifically. And I picked up a whole bunch of these one time. They're also good for when I sell hats on Poshmark. They're a good size for that. So I'm going to stick that in. It'll stay nice and safe. This was Poshmark yet, right? Yeah. Okay. That'd be bad. Don't use this box for eBay. would be expensive to ship in this box on eBay. So this sold with my 30% off offer from yesterday. The person accepted it early this morning while it was still valid for the 24 hours. I got this at the bins. I actually have not finished typing all of, if you watched my 2 big bins haul videos and my thrift with me, I still have 1 bag of bin stuff left that I need to get listed. So I'm so sorry if you've been keeping an eye out for anything. I've also been listing the stuff from the vacation haul as well as the Goodwill haul that I just showed on my channel. And I have to now get through that other bag of bin stuff. So I don't average my cost of goods until everything is typed into my inventory in case something's stained and I don't list it, or I end up bundling something together. So I don't know how many items specifically yet are going to be listed for that haul yet, so I can't average my cost of goods. But I think it's going to be around $1.50. So once I do that, this sold after 6 days, and I made around $10. Okay, last but not least are these super pretty Coach. These are the Willa style. I like the little Coach here and the studded. These were gorgeous. I snagged these in Thriftsmiths, and so you probably remember that video. It's the day that I got like all the shoes because they had those shoe carts out. These were one of the 2 pairs of Coach shoes that I ended up grabbing, and these had a lot of interest. They had really good sell-through rate. I listed these for $95, and I've gotten some offers since then that I countered, and to include a couple $60 offers. I've been countering back with this woman, and today she offered me $60, and I was like, you know what? When I looked at my 30% off offer with discounted shipping, she basically could have accepted that and paid $64. I'm like, this is only a $4 difference, and if these shoes make it around to next Sunday, they'll go on my 35% sale that I run once a week, and they would be less than that. So I accepted the $60. I'm happy to move them out. My average cost of goods at Goodwill that day, because I got all those shoes, was $11.14. I actually paid $12.29, just fun fact. But they were only listed for $12, or $12. That would have been a steal. They were only listed for 12 days, and I made $36.86. That's great. I sold those strawberry Crocs. If you've been following my Instagram stories, you'll have seen that I posted on my stories that I sold those Crocs. And then the next day, the person ended up canceling, and there was this whole drama, and I should probably just have a story time about it sometime, maybe, but not this video, because this video is already probably going to be way too long. I don't think we're going to do the whole week in this video. We might just do the first few days, so it's not like an hour and a half long. Okay, I will see you next time. It is the next day around 7 o'clock. The kids are downstairs watching Puppy Dog Pals. For anyone that likes that show in Disney Junior, they love it right now. And I only have 3 sales to pack up as of right now. So 3 sales for today, unfortunately. One of them I'm excited about, but not for the reason you think. One of the others I'm pretty excited about. And hopefully some more sales will trickle in later tonight. The first one is these little Timberland baby joggers. Now, these were my son's. I was given them probably in like a clothing lot or something. Like all the stuff they wear is pre-owned from somebody usually. And every once in a while when I'm taking Once Upon a Child stuff, I'll take some out that I think might sell on their own. Honestly, I probably just should have taken this to Once Upon a Child. If I were to do it again, I would. But I decided to list these for whatever reason, I guess, because they were Timberland. And I accepted a $6 offer on eBay like 3 days ago. And I was so excited for them to be out of my life. And then the person never paid. So today, out of the blue, they finally paid. So I'm excited about that. They were personal use. We're going to use our cute little flamingo bag. They were personal use, so I have $0 into them. I never paid for them initially. And I just got another sticker. Why do I do that? They were listed for 670 days. And I made $4.31. But if I had taken these to Once Upon a Child, they probably would have only given me like $1. So I made $3 more, but I don't think it was worth waiting 2 years. But That's okay. We got something else moved on to a cute little baby, hopefully. Okay, the next thing I realized that I didn't grab it out of my inventory downstairs because it's been listed so new. It is still upstairs in my dining room. So let me grab it. Okay, we got it. So this next one is a super cute Chico's Platinum Denim Vest. It's got like a lace back. I've never seen anything like it, and I really liked it. And this is scooped up by one of you. So Sandy, thank you so much for your purchase. She offered me $21 on Poshmark, which I did accept. I got this at the bins. It was in my recent video, probably where she saw it. And if you remember, I talked about this, I think yesterday. I haven't done my average cost of goods for that trip yet, but I'm counting that it's approximately $1.50. This has only been listed for 2 days. And so I made around $15. So I'm super happy with that. And I just realized I still have a sticker on my leg. I keep doing this. Let's get this off in Poshmark land. And then I'll show you my last sale. So my last sale, this one actually came in overnight. I woke up to an offer that I did end up accepting. I already have it in the box because I needed to know what size box so that I could print my label out for eBay. So these are the Coach Victoria monogrammed mid-calf tall black leather boots that I also picked up in Thriftsmiths. The same day I picked up yesterday's Coach shoes that sold for $60. These look to be not as desired as those other ones. I knew that going into it, but I accepted a $45 offer. I think I had these listed maybe at $60. I got them at Goodwill, obviously, for $15, and they've been listed for 11 days. They're also big and bulky, so I'm happy to move them out. They do also have a bit of wear on the back on the heel that I noted, so also happy to move them out. I put one piece of paper in, then one boot, and then I'm gonna layer it on top so that the leather doesn't rub together when it ships. Then I'm going to put a bit of fill again so it doesn't move around, and then I'm gonna put one paper just to make it pretty. So when they open it, it's not just a crumpled mess. They get my knee sticker right on top, and Moya will fold her up. Thankfully, I had a perfect box for these. My cat has prescription food for a thyroid disease, so we have to get special ordered food for her. And these are the boxes that they come in. Always, always, always happy to reuse packaging. All right, that is it for right now. Maybe I will pop on later, and if not, see you tomorrow. Another slow day. It is officially Wednesday at 7 p.m. and I only have 2 sales as of today. I didn't have any others that trickled in yesterday, but one of today's is really good, so I'm excited to tell you. These are actually both jean sales. So the first was these American Eagle high-rise jegging. I talk about this style on my channel. I just consistently sell it. They're skinny, they're stretchy. This specific pair has like distressing all down the front, and it just continues to sell for me. So I will only grab it when it's like free at the swap meets, or if I get it at the bins or Dollar Day or something like that. I'm certainly not paying like $6 at Goodwill for these, but I just looked, and this was the last pair I had in stock, and like look how old this is. Like, these are not in any way a new kind of style from them. It still says American Eagle Outfitters right inside, and it's still sold. So this sold on Poshmark for $25. I had it listed for $28, and they accepted my 10% off offer with discounted shipping. I got it at the local swap meet for $0. It was only listed for 44 days, and I made $17.68. American Eagle denim will continue to be a bread and butter item for me. When I can get them cheap, I pick up like literally everything. So it works for me. And yeah. Okay, this is such a good sale. I'm so excited about it. These are Totem jeans. Now Totem, I will pop up the logo here for you to look at. Absolutely a BOLO brand. This was the first time I had ever found it, and I was like, oh, that looks interesting. So I looked it up and saw fantastic comps. I had these listed for $175, and today I got an offer for $115. I think the person had gotten like $120 something offer with discounted shipping and my 30% off sale earlier in the week. and then offered me $115. I was very happy to accept that. Anytime I can have an over $100 sale, I am thrilled. So that was on Poshmark. These I got at 2nd Avenue. My average cost of goods was $6.81. They were listed for 110 days, and I ended up making $85.19. So even though I only had 2 today, I still, between the 2 of them, had an over $100 day, and it's only 7. So again, like I said yesterday, something could still come in. Nothing came in yesterday, but we will see. I will probably do one more check-in with you tomorrow before we wrap this video up so that I can get it edited and out by the end of the week. It is now Thursday, and it is pouring down rain, though. I'm excited to report I did have at least one more sale last night before I went to bed, and it was this pair of Vince Camuto shoes. Vince Camuto is hit or miss for me. Sometimes it sells and sometimes it sits around for a while. These were actually mine. I got them for free from the like Facebook group that I'm a part of in my neighborhood, like a no buy give type of thing. And I wore them for a while, but they were just a little bit too big for me. And so recently when I found a new pair of heels at my local swap meet for free, I am using those and I decided to list these. So these sold on Poshmark for an offer of $29, which I was very happy with. And since they were personal use, I had $0 into them. And even though they were personal use, I do remember that I got them for free. So they were only listed for 89 days, which for Vince Camuto to me is a pretty fast sale. And I ended up making $23. Oh no, my tape. $23 and 20 cents on those. They are in pretty good condition. I'm trying to be much more careful when picking up heels, that I'm checking them more carefully. That's gotten me a few times to make sure they're not peeling on the inside and that the back of the heel isn't worn down at all. I need to be much better about that. Okay, I think these are going to fit in. Oh no, I don't have the box up here. I thought I did. I have more 1095s in the basement, but I need to bring them back. I think this is going to be okay. This is the 1092 box. It is just a little bit smaller. I do order these online at USPS. They're totally free. They come shipped to my door. These ones are self-sealing. The flat rates I just pick up at my local post office, like in handfuls. These ones aren't available just sitting there on the shelf at the post office. Okay, so we're going to put this in here. Yeah, that actually fits really well. So we're going to put some void fill on the top. Keep it nice and safe. Get our label. Actually, I think that fits better than the other box, but I need to remember to bring some of the others upstairs. Okay, now as of today, I've only had 2 sales, unfortunately, but they were decent sales, especially one of them. The first was a Thriftsmas in July sale. This is the Robert Rodriguez x Neiman Marcus 100% cashmere short sleeve sweater that I picked up. So this also sold very quickly, and it sold for $24 on eBay. That's maybe a bit lower than I would love, but honestly, I'm fine with it. And eBay's been really slow for me this week, as I'm sure you can tell. And so I'm happy to, accept an offer and try to get things moving again. At Goodwill that day, my average cost of goods was $4.98, but it was only listed for 5 days, and I ended up making $14.16. Always love a fast sale. Cashmere usually sells really well for me, but then I have a couple cashmere sweaters that I cannot get to sell. So you never really know. I did list this under Robert Rodriguez as the brand, and then I put in the description that it's a collab with Neiman Marcus. Okay, the other one that I had today is a really great sale, and it is from the North Face. We talked about North Face in my last thrift haul, that I do like selling it. This is a puffer jacket. It's like a lightweight packable. It's actually called the Thermoball style, and it sold today on Poshmark for $58. I had it listed for $65, and someone accepted my 10% off offer with discounted shipping. Love, love, love that. I also got this at the swap meet for $0. If you haven't watched my swap meet videos, head over and watch them. This was Poshmark. You bring stuff and you can take stuff, and everything is free. This was listed for 71 days and I ended up making $44.08. So obviously I'm very happy with that. All right. I want to get this video out on Sunday, so we are going to cut it here also to make sure it's not too long. So as of today, I was looking, as of it's like 7 o'clock on Thursday, I have had 23 sales. That number is a bit lower. It started off by like a lot of high volume, and then the last few days I've only had 2 or 3. So that's disappointing, but they've been high value sales. My average sales price as of today is $36.26, and usually it hovers around $30, and it's been a little bit lower than that the last few weeks as I've moved out older inventory. So $36.26 is fantastic, and my profit already on Thursday is at $525.19. So that's after shipping, fees, cost of goods, the promoted listings, shipping discounts, all the things. So I'm happy with that. I hope you had a fun shipping my items with me. Thank you for coming along. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye.